Hello everyone. So today we're gonna be going over a Moira VOD. I'm making this into a new little series thing. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really like coaching people more than playing the game. So I hope this can help you out. Maybe you're a Moira player too and you feel stuck. So we have this boy here, and he's in gold, and he wants to improve his gameplay, and he is on console. So I have a bunch of notes that I took. I've already watched this, so I have a bunch of notes just to remember everything that I should be going over. And I have my little pencil right here. Cute. And let's start.
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Hold up now.
Okay. So let's take a look. Right here,
Capture the objective.
you're moving forward with your team.
Hold up now.
That's good, that's good. Alright. Right here, you can see that there's enemies. Enemies are coming from here, going like this. Right there, you could totally use damage orbs to make those kills happen even faster. Because you can tell that they're skinny boys. There's skinny boys over there. So, you could probably finish those kills a lot faster. Let's see. You see how many skinny boys are here? So, right here, just try to become more aware of what's happening. There's right here, if you take a looker. Moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. And boom. There's a diva right there. So you should be aware of that. The tank is completely separated from the rest of them. You could see all of them are over there. You see that your tracers are moving out to push towards them, forcing them to move over this way.
I require assistance.
And you're hesitating a lot on throwing that orb over there. And don't hesitate on it. If you're gonna load in that animation, then just do it. Just throw in that damage orb and just try and secure those kills faster.
Get into position.
So you hesitate for a while there, and then it ends up just being an orb that goes off into space. So right here, you hesitate. Could have used it over there or over here to finish kills faster.
Get into position.
There you use it at the point where it's not really that necessary. Right here, you're shifting from a one safe position to another safe position. So it's kind of unnecessary. See right here?
I require assistance.
You hesitate on that.
Get into position.
You throw your orb.
Allow.
Your Rhine is fine in health. You're not damaging anything by pointing at the wall.
Me.
Right here, you notice that your Mercury is critical. So you shift over to him because you're worried about him. Makes sense. So he's already backing up towards you. So you didn't have to use your shift there. Well, your fade. Because you're on console. So you could have easily just walked towards him and not use your cooldown.
The objective is now active.
Okay, right here, you see how you throw your orb right there.
Allow me.
So you shift from safe position to another safe position.
The objective is now
You turn around, and you see that your diva is critical. She's asking for healing. All of your teammates are safe. You guys got a lot of picks, so you have the point. You see that you throw the orb, and you also heal. You're pretty low on healing, so you could technically just throw an orb and allow your Zen to heal for the rest of the health, just so that your Zen can get his ult. So you could do the orb if you don't have that much healing. So try and prioritize getting more of this and just letting your other healer get some charge. So right here, of course, in this rank, it wouldn't necessarily matter. Most of the time people aren't as mechanically skilled, but you can see that there is you push up here, you move forward, you imagine it's pretty safe, right? It's just that guy right there, but you can see that there was a widow shot right there. Ah, right here. See the pew pew? That right there? That could have killed you. So right here, pushing up, I get it. You're trying to do some damage. But in reality, they're just going to back up and you're not going to be able to finish the kill anyway. So just stay out of the sight line. Just stay behind your Reinhardt. And because in a higher rank, you would get killed.
Restoring you.
Whoa there.
This will heal you.
Alright, that's good. That you use your orb and healed up the Rhine. He was critical. But right here, you lose your cooldowns and you ult. Wait, let me move where my phone is. I'm gonna put it right here. Ah! Wait, I could put it like this. I'm a big old dummy. Wait. Alright, there we go. So. Okay.
Will.
So you ult there. Let's go back a little bit.
Heal you. I need to reach up. Surrender to my will.
You can see that your DPS pushes up.
To my will.
Right there. Dead. There. Another DPS dead. And you pushed up because your tanks move forward, when technically you should have just backed off and gone into a safe position to let that fight be lost. Because technically you're all going to be staggered now. And that is bad. So you should have just backed up, lost the fight, and then retake it when it was much easier to. Being that your tanks separated in two different directions.
Stay down.
So, see, everyone's dying. And you lose that right there.
There was a flaw in
So
my
everyone's staggered now. Now you have to wait.
Thank you.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct sequence.
Allow me to
So there was no need to use that healing orb right there.
repair the damage.
So right there, I can see what you were trying to do. You're probably trying to shift out of the way of the Doomfist. But in reality, you opened yourself up to a more open space. So you allowed yourself to shift into a more dangerous position.
I'm ready to initiate
So right here,
sequence.
kind of
Allow
waste
me
that
to
orb.
repair the damage.
You move forward. You can see that the Widow's standing right there. And then you shift
Meteor strike.
right into a position where she can get you. And you could have totally used that shift. Instead of using it there, you could have shifted back and saved yourself. So right here, your team, they may have gotten a lucky pick there, but try to realize when your team is staggering and try to call for a more unified push. Because right there, in this moment, you guys are getting extremely staggered, getting random picks at times.
The objective is mine.
So right here, you don't move forward. You stay in spawn, tell them to group up. Right here, you could easily get picked off. There's a huge open space.
Group up.
Group up with me.
So really try and stay in cover. In a higher rank, that Zen would not be able to get that kill. The Zen would be killed instead.
Join with me.
And if you realize that there's a Widow, try and use your damage orb to try and get her out of that position.
Understood.
Come out and face me.
Get through this.
Experience tranquility.
So right here, you start to heal, but there's no need. There's a transcendence happening. So you guys are good on heals. So keep trying to use your damage.
Your power is
Self-destruct
mine.
sequence.
If we are to progress, we must
Make
kill the Mahol.
Precision German.
Right there, you have to recognize again. Just try and up your awareness a little bit. I'm not sure if you moved over here because you wanted to be in this position or because you noticed that the Widow was up there. But Widow's right there. You see her shoot. She could have possibly killed you there.
I require aid.
This will restore you.
Instead of doing that, you just wasted an orb. You could have sent a damage orb up there for the Widow to move her position, possibly saving your Zen. Right here.
I require aid.
The Widow can easily kill him. A healing orb will not save him.
This will restore you. Join the
So it would have just been easier to send a damage orb towards her to make her change position.
Don't worry, my friend. I have your shield.
Thank you.
Dead eyes ready.
I'm
I actually like the position that you took here. It's away from the enemy sightline and you're able to hear your teammates here.
allow me.
But here is the moment that you should move. Here you see that your teammates are critical health and you should be moving closer to them. As Moira, you're better off being close to your teammates and just healing everyone at the same time.
Surrender to my
Use your ult there, seeing that they're critical, but it's completely unnecessary. They're completely healed up by that moment.
will.
Nerf this.
So it would have been much easier for you to just shift over there, completely safe, stay in cover, and try and heal them. And then you could have backed up for that Diva Bomb. Or stayed behind your Reinhardt's shield. But here you end up focusing that Doomfist instead.
Become Karula. My condition is improved.
Right here, again, you could have saved somebody just by throwing a damage orb over there. Because it forces her to move. So, right here. You move over here.
I can
Widow. Widow's always standing here. You should realize that she's been going to that position the entire time. So what you should be doing, throw a damage orb over there.
condition is improved.
Because she's in critical health. There's no saving her if she's just going to take a full-on shot from the Widowmaker. Especially because the Widow can headshot her from there. So what you should have been doing is throwing a damage orb over there. Moving her out of her position. Now that's a lost fight. You have to back up. You can see that there's still plenty of time left. It's not a lot of time, but there's definitely time for another push.
This is
So you moving over to the right instead of backing up was a pretty bad idea. You could have easily gotten super staggered right there. And you're also extremely lucky that Discord Orb did not touch you.
Damn. Meteor strike.
Right here, you shift. The enemy can see you shift. I'm not sure if they killed you on accident while they were spamming in that direction, or if they killed you because they could easily see you shift. So try not to shift. You shifted from a pretty safe cover over here. You wanted to move, but then you moved to another sight line of theirs. So you should have probably shifted into another cover, especially because you were low on health. So you should have shifted to somewhere completely outside of their line of sight.
Strike. Incoming.
We must all make sacrifices in the name of science.
Okay, right there, you bounced your orb when it wasn't really necessary to bounce your orb. I'm not sure if you did it by accident or not, but you could have just waited a little bit or just shot it more towards here instead of the ground, just so it could actually heal your teammates. Because then it gets way too high.
Bob, do something!
Okay, so right here, you see that your teammates, they do actually get a few picks.
Bob, do something!
So right here, you see them pushing up, and you stay hesitant right here
Do something!
in this little choke. Right there, you could have easily thrown a Discord Orb, because again, the Widowmaker is there. She's always there. So you could have easily tried to heal your diva, at least attempted to, and thrown a damage orb over there at the same time.
Strength flows. If we are to progress, we must claim the objective. This will heal you. This was the
Alright, so you heal yourself when you're damaging as Moira. So right here,
This will heal you.
you're gaining a good amount of health just from damaging them. But you decide to heal yourself with your orb anyway.
Strength flows. If we are to progress, we must claim the objective.
You see, you're doing pretty fine on health,
This will heal
but you decide to heal yourself anyway,
Expected conclusion.
when you could have used it once again to try and get this widow off this high ground.
Under the Yeshu, I cast this forth. Surrender to my will.
Suiting up. Behind you.
The objective is mine. Join me if you will.
Such a flow
I need healing.
creation.
Get behind.
If your teammate gets out of your line of sight, there's nothing that you can do. So don't waste your healing on somebody that's just not there anymore.
I feel the
Right here.
Get behind.
See, she drops down. You try and heal her. There's a health pack right there, so you don't have to worry about her.
I feel the warmth
This will restore you.
flowing through.
First round.
Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next round.
2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Group up with me.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Alright, so right there,
Prepare
you see that your team went into kind of weird positions. They got separated there. Some of them went over there. You threw an orb over there to try and help them out.
repair the damage.
Got a really lucky pick right there. But in reality, they're just gonna die there. So what you probably should have done is called for them to come closer to you. Right there, your Rhine gets booped. and you continue to use your healing, even though you have very little of it. So let's just go back a little bit.
Repairing the damage. Repairing the damage. I'm on.
You used your shift there because you took some damage, but you guys are just giving them line of sight anyway. All of you are facing, I guess, horizontally on the point, giving them full line of sight over here, even though there is cover right here.
The damage.
Follow me.
Right, so it gets separated
Allow
over
me to
there.
repair the damage. Repairing the damage.
See, right here, you could be using this cover. But instead you're pushing up, taking damage, giving them all charge, and their line of sight.
I'm on.
When you could be using your Reinhardt's shield, or you could be standing behind that cover. And then if you had just been in cover, you could have shifted over to where your Reinhardt is. Instead of being a little bit hesitant.
Not ready.
I need a doctor.
Get into position.
Right here, there's no need to use your orb.
Allow me. Coalescence is charging.
You have very little healing, so you could have easily used a damage orb to try and gain more heals. Just by shooting it out in the enemy's general direction. See, an orb like that would have been great just a little bit earlier.
The power of destruction. This will improve your condition. Surrender to my will.
That's not a bad orb, but you didn't have to ult there. That's already a lost fight. Make sure to take notice of the kill feed. So you can see that all of your teammates are dying. There's a bunch of skinny boys in front of you.
Surrender to my will.
It could have worked a little bit better maybe if the enemies were grouped up a little bit more over here. But these are two skinny boys, and they're both very fast, and both have heals. So there's really no need to use it here. You also stay in the line of sight of the Widowmaker. Your ult is super long range, so you can try and stay out of line of sight while you're doing it, if you are going to use it.
My ultimate is charging.
We must all make sacrifices in the name of science. Group up. Join
That's a
me.
good call. You group up.
with me.
You guys got all picked off.
Group up here.
Understood.
My ultimate is charging.
Also, in the beginning of this, I think you wanted to try doing a fade jump over here. You could try practicing that in custom games if you really wanted to do it more.
Got it.
Come out and face me.
Here it comes.
Okay, you hear the ding-ding-ding-ding-ding? See, you have to pay attention for that now, because Ashe is in the game. You have to realize that the dynamite ringing, and you need to figure out how to get away from it. And you use your shift here, when you could have easily used it when it exploded.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct.
Right here, you waste your healing, even though the Reinhardt is much too far away.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct.
You could have easily used your orb a little bit earlier
Activating self-destruct.
to try and help out that fight, but it was pretty lost fights because a lot of you got picked off.
Self-destruct sequence.
You also, again, are allowing this widow to have a line of sight.
Perhaps
So your
a new
Reinhardt switches to a
methodology is
Roadhog.
required. Group up.
Soldier 76 online.
This will heal you. I require
Need a doctor.
Okay, right here, he's walking towards a health pack, so you don't have to be healing him. You wasted your cooldowns there. You try healing her, but it's not enough. You should have been healing her way before that. Right here. You should have definitely been focusing on this better idea of a push than your McCree going to a health pack.
This will restore you.
There's no need to use your cooldown there either,
I need to recharge.
because Hog is a very big boy. Also, again, you're in the sideline of the Widow. You have to realize where she's positioning herself and avoid being there, or force her to move to a different position with your damage orbs.
We must all make sacrifices in the name of science. Join with me.
Yep, so you guys should be
Allow
grouping
me
up.
to repair the damage.
I'm doing a hard push right here. Right here, you have a lot of healing right here. So you could easily just keep using your healing and push up with all the cooldowns. You could push it up with your diva and gotten that pick right there. 100% you would have gotten it instead of your diva getting out of mech.
Your power is mine.
Do something! Nerf this!
Surrender to my will.
And you didn't have to use your ult like that. Because I see that you probably use it because it's overtime.
Surrender.
So you didn't have to use your orb there. Because you could easily healed your
To my
Junkrat.
will.
And then you use it with no specific target.
Claim the objective.
It's high noon.
Get into position.
So you could have been using it there instead to help out your Roadhog if you had used it a little bit later.
Experience tranquility.
So right here, Transcendence. You do not need to be using your healing. So you have to focus on building up that ult again. Also right here, you're part of the enemy team now. You have to be with your team. Because you can see that he's critical. You're way too far away to help him out. You don't have the cooldown for it. It might get eaten by the defense matrix.
Gale the Mahol.
So you should be with your team.
This will heal you.
You could have possibly saved that diva if you had been with her.
Your strength ebbs.
So don't let messy fights like that make you lose focus on where your teammates are. Alright, let's go forward.
3. Capture.
Okay, so now you guys have Hanzo and Soldier.
Thanks.
And Reinhardt. And Orisa.
Allow me. A touch from afar.
Oh, that wasn't a bad idea for an orb, but you could have thrown it maybe a little bit more accurately towards the enemies. Again, you use your shift here to move from one safe position to another safe position. When you could have easily used that instead over here. So your Reinhardt moves forward. You can get closer to him because you realize that you're not in range to heal him. So you could have gone closer to him because the McCree used his flashbang on your Reinhardt. Right here. Flashbang. You could have been with your Reinhardt, healing him. And then shifted back. Right here, you're tunnel visioning onto your Hanzo because he's critical. But he's in a pretty weird position, so you could have just waited for him to drop. Alright, so your Reinhardt switched to Roadhog.
Get into position.
Again, here, you have plenty of healing. You don't need to be using your orbs.
Restoring you.
Damn it!
Taking control of the objective.
Again, you're shifting from a safe position to another safe position.
Any resistance will be dispersed.
The power of destruction.
Okay, there, I see what you were trying to do. But again, you could have tried doing it a little bit more accurately. Right here, you're kind of just staring at your teammates fighting over here. So you focus a little bit too much on trying to do that. You see that they're pretty healthy over here. Fighting a teammate right there. So you can easily push up with them and try and get a pick on
Allow me to repair the damage.
those enemies.
Join the NYASH is my will.
So try not to throw your orbs right into Diva defense matrices. So try to pay attention if she has it up.
For your safety,
It's time.
Surrender to my will. Gale the Mahal.
Right here again, you don't really have a specific target. And nobody's really grouped up.
This will heal you.
Right there, you could have used a damage orb instead, because everyone was fine. Yeah, I believe everyone was fine. Hog was healing himself. So you could have used a damage orb towards the enemies.
Strength flows from you.
thanks.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Again, no need for the orb. You could have used your orb there to, again, move the Widow out of her position.
I will unmake you. You seem in need of aid.
Nerf this!
You tunnel visioned a little bit right there on this Pharah. You see your Zen gets picked, so you should be turning around there. So try to pay attention to the kill feed a little bit more right here. Zen gets picked. You turn around a little bit too late.
Nerf this!
Alright, right here. You're correct to back up here.
I cast this.
You're hesitating a little bit too much on that orb. So you definitely could have thrown that a little bit faster.
Come here and get stabilized.
Because you could have easily gotten picked right there.
Allow me.
Just like he did.
Get into position.
Rally at my position.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
For your safety,
Heal up
please move
here.
behind the barrier.
Behind
This
you.
will restore you.
Right here, Hog is perfectly fine.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
So you move over here.
For your safety,
So this is the main team. This is the main team that you should be moving with. They get a pick on the Widow. Hog is over here. There's an orb on him. He has heals. He's doing fine. But because you moved over there, he's able to heal himself. You moved over there instead of staying with the team. So it just led to you being in a bad position and you got picked off. But that could have been a better push there if you had been alive. So try to prioritize your life a little bit more.
We must all make sacrifices in the name of science. This will heal.
Again, right here you hesitate a little bit too long. You have the animation open,
This will heal you.
Engaging.
and you just wait a little bit. Remember, it has to be sending out already.
Everyone heal up.
So right here again, you kind of use your ult,
Special attack.
and you use your ult again in a place where you could have easily just healed. And right here would have been I guess slightly better time if you really did want to ult there.
Not ready. Gale the Mahal.
Chaos begets more chaos.
But it still wouldn't have been necessary there.
This objective must
Right here, you see Hanzo is right in front of you, so you move over. But you move over to a position where it's even easier for him to hit you. So if you're gonna move from one position, then you gotta move completely out of that line of sight. So you could be moving from right here. So you see him? You're already 73 health.
objective must be ours.
You move over here, one shot, just you could have died. So you can't be risking your life like that.
You are advised to move behind my back. Group up.
A touch from afar.
Okay, right there was not really any need to use your orb. But again, here you do what you did before, that you just kind of stare at your healthy teammate fighting. When you could have been pushing up with him, maybe even gotten this diva out of mech way earlier because he's Hog. So if you were maybe over here helping your Hog, you could have probably stopped this diva bomb from happening.
Tranquility.
Surrender.
Try not to tunnel vision too much on those diva bombs because you do tend to pause in cover, but you don't have to stop completely what you're doing.
To my will.
You just have to be in cover. Right here, you definitely tunnel vision on this Pharah. You're not going to finish the kill. Once you realize that your aim is off, just focus on something else, especially on focusing your teammates. So right here, as you move upwards, he's yellow, he's critical. He could have totally used it there to help him out. Oops. Goddamn.
Tranquility.
Surrender to my will.
You see, so try to avoid this kind of tunnel vision.
This will my keen analytical mind. I will unmake you. I'm restoring how this feels.
Alright, right here, you're walking in a perfectly straight line. So it makes it really easy for the Hanzo to kill you. There's a lot more enemies, and you can see that the Moira is alive. So
Tell me how this feels.
right here, he's gonna be fine. And you get picked off because you decided to chase it.
For your sake.
That changes my thinking.
Alright, so that is the end of this coaching session. So I do have all of the notes here about everything that I talked about. So if anybody wants to read them, I'm gonna try and put them in the description, and you guys can go ahead go ahead and check out this player. I'm gonna leave their Instagram in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this coaching session, and hopefully there's gonna be more to come. These are very simple videos to edit. Hopefully, I'm very much of a perfectionist, so it's very difficult for me to upload something if it's not perfect. Also, I hope you guys enjoy the new intro. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I will upload another video. So have a good day, everyone, and thank you, Mercenary, for sending me this video. And if you want to receive coaching too, for any hero, you guys can go to Wawa's Bootcamp. It's a Discord server, and you can also find coaching there for any hero that you want to learn at NYASH. So go ahead and check them out. I'll leave a link down below if I can too. So bye everyone. Mwah.